So, hello and welcome to the Middle Age Magic May 2023 News Roundup. And boy, have we got a busy month for you. Grab your favorite beverage, grab a snack, and settle down for the whirlwind that is May. Right, and as I said in the intro, May has been quite a busy month for news. So we'll try and rattle through this fairly quickly because we don't want it to be a Marvel movie length, do we now? Because you won't get any cool cameos or mid-credit scenes at the end. So let's start with SeaWorld. SeaWorld has had quite a lot of news this month, which makes a change for SeaWorld. So hooray. So pipeline is open, or at least it will be properly. So far, there has been media days, there's been pass holder previews. It officially opens on the 26th of May. They may soft open it before then, but it looks fun if that's your kind of thing. There's an absolute ton of POV videos. One of the first ones, best ones, great ones, was from Midway Mayhem, which we will obviously include in the show notes. It made me feel sick just watching the video, so you know it's going to be a really good roller coaster. Sam can't wait. Pass holders at SeaWorld are also going to earn rewards based on the amount of times they visit between all of May and the end of June. Anything from free popcorn to dining options in their Passport to Summer program. So if you're a SeaWorld pass holder, check that out. The Shark Tank has two new residents, Dutch and Dylan. They're two juvenile male great hammerhead sharks, and great hammerheads are critically endangered in the wild. So it's great that they found a safe haven at SeaWorld in Orlando. Jim Kinsler, who's the curator of the aquariums at SeaWorld Orlando, has said it's a privilege to provide care for this critically endangered species and to bring greater awareness and understanding of this shark to tens of millions of guests that visit every year. Sharks are amazing. Go see them. And talking of sharks, Mako has reopened after its refurb of paint. So another roller coaster, which I will never ride in my entire life, has reopened. It does look good if that's your kind of thing. So anyway, Mako is open. So let's move on to Universal. And oh my God, there has been an absolute ton of news. So as you may have seen all over social media, the Minions are taking over this summer. So as well as, let me put my teeth in, VillainCon Minion Blast, the long-hyped Minion Cafe is actually going to open. It looks amazing. And along with the often rumoured Bake My Day Bakery. So there has been a massive rumour that Universal would get the Bake My Day Bakery, which they have in Universal in Japan. And it has been constructed. The giant cupcake is on top of it. There are some fantastic pictures from BioReconstruct. Obviously, I will link him in the show notes. If you don't follow him already, go do so. Also, we are going to be getting the Popanana popcorn stand and Freeze Ray Pop snack location. So that whole area will be Minions. And as well as this, they've announced a meet and greet area, the Illumination Theatre, which will be an outdoor meet and greet for the Minions, Gru, Margot, Edith, and Agnes, and along with friends from Sing. So there will be Illumination Avenue, really is going to be stuffed with Illumination characters. There's a great blog post from the Orlando Informer, which is in the show notes, and also another one from the Queen of Epic Universe, Alicia Stella, from Orlando Park Stop. So we will include those in the show notes too. So with VillainCon opening in the summer, it's rumoured that Men in Black Alien Attack will close for a refurb. There's been some activity around the MIB attraction. So hopefully they won't close it. When they say refurb, God knows what will happen. It's another one that Sam and I haven't done because we've not been in the park when it's been open, because obviously we've either been at a conference late at night when it hasn't been open, or Sam's been being dragged between Harry Potter rides. So hopefully, because we haven't ridden it, that's not going to put it on the condemned list. So fingers crossed, Men in Black still open when we go next year. Talking of closures, Poseidon's Fury has closed under a massive fanfare of last day activity. Please go and check out the Pew 2's video. Tyler dressed up as Poseidon for the day. It's hilarious. And there's also some, if you have a quick search on YouTube, I think Attractions magazine did a full video of the last show. So it was a ride or an attraction that Sam and I had never got to do, and it was on our list. So I'm glad that somebody did a video of it so we could actually see. It did look amazing. So gutted we missed it. But that part of the park is all but dead. There's still no news on what will happen to that part of the park, but there are massive rumours that it's going to be a Zelda themed land, with Universal and Nintendo being best buddies, and the fact that the new Zelda game is just sold a bajillion number of copies and everyone's raving about it. It might be quite a quick thing for them to do, because the Lost Continent doesn't look that different from parts of Zelda Land, does it really? The nighttime light show at the Hogwarts Castle is currently on extended closure for future show enhancements. There's no time frame as to when it's going to reopen, but their guess is it will obviously before Halloween, because at the end of the summer, when the evenings start to get darker again, it hasn't had a refurb for a while, so I'd imagine that's why. But it will be coming back, don't panic. So the new Jurassic Park tribute store is being constructed currently and will be opening on the 26th of May to celebrate the film's 30th anniversary. There will also be some Jurassic Park themed items and snacks available, plus you'll be able to catch Jurassic Park, the original Jurassic Park, on the big screen on the 9th, 10th and 11th on the cinema that's on City Walk. So if Jurassic Park is one of the things that you love and you really need to see it on the big screen, seriously, there's nothing better than watching that lawyer get chomped by the T-Rex on the big screen. It's amazing. So yeah, it's going to be available for those 3 days at the cinema. The ET pre-show is back. It was suspended due to the construction along the kids zone, and guests are still entering the ride at the back entrance, but you're being rerouted to the pre-show room now. And although it looks in images that we've seen, it's the room is smaller than it was. The pre-show is back. So yeah, don't panic. ET is staying. ET's Adventure is the last remaining opening day ride at Universal Florida. And hopefully long may it stay, because I've not ridden it and it's on my to-do bucket list. Another one, Tyler from the Pew 2's favourite ride, is the Fast and the Furious. Because Fast X, or Fast and the Furious 10, is being released very shortly, there is merchandise that's arrived in the custom gear gift shop by the Fast and the Furious. So if that's your thing, you know where to go to get your Fast and Furious fix. It certainly isn't Tyler's. There is a video of him having to ride it a number of times, which is absolutely hilarious, because he hates that almost as much as I hate Top Gun. On to the Epic universe. Oh my God, there is an absolute mega update. So Alicia, Stella and Bio Reconstruct, I've done it again with the hugest blog post and video, which I have included in the show notes, but I will give you a quick rundown because an awful lot has happened at Epic Universe this month. So Super Nintendo World, the portal has its framing for the escalator entrance now, so you'll go up the escalator through the castle like you do in Japan into the land, and there's also a lift stroke elevator depending on what part of the world you're from, which will also come up inside the castle to allow you to exit into the land. And all the facades are now in place for the ride entrances, and the theming has started to put in place. So there's golden bricks on Bowser's Castle, for instance. It's starting to look amazing. So Universal Monsters, which is rumoured to now be called Dark Universe, the entrance portal has been themed with the Frankenstein-style electric conductor for a while, but also now there is a tree and some roots wrapping around it, and all the mesh framing for these roots is being installed. But I can imagine it's going to look absolutely amazing when it's done. A new trademark has been filed for a store called Oddities and Monstrosities, so that looks like it might be a gift shop. A new notice of work has also been filed for the main attraction by the same company behind the robotic arms ride mechanism on Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. So it looks as though the main dark ride inside Dark Universe will be a similar style of ride to the Forbidden Journey. And the outdoor coaster track for the rumoured Wolfman coaster has all been installed, and the barn section appears to be complete. So the actual structure of the roller coaster is now done in Dark Universe Land. Moving on to How to Train Your Dragon or Isle of Berk, the dragon statue at the land's entrance in the lagoon is starting to get its colour, and by God, they are absolutely massive. Bioreconstructors posted a picture, which Alicia shows in her video, where you see the lorries and the cars and the people working in the lagoon, and they look like ants compared to this thing. It is going to be huge. Put your teeth in, Sharon. The lagoon walls have been themed and sculptured and are now getting colours, so they're going to look like mossy green, sort of like man-made lagoony walls, which is going to look really cool. And the foundation for the spinning rides, which you won't get me on ever, have been prepped and are in place, ready to receive them. And prep work for a kids' play area started. And also theming has started on the Great Hall restaurant. The walls are up on the theatre building. You can see all the seating, which looks like bench seating that you just sit on. A bit like, I was trying to think of somewhere else that's got something similar and I can't off the top of my head. So ignore that. And the roof's just got to go on. So we'd imagine that by the time the next update comes around, the roof will be on the theatre. As far as the Wizarding World goes, a wall has been constructed along the portal entrance side, so it looks as though when you're in the Wizarding World part, you're not going to be able to see the rest of Epic Universe, basically. So you are literally going to be enclosed in that part of the land, and the streetways are all receiving their facades, so it will look like a small, skinny street like the other Harry Potter or Wizarding World lands do at Universal. So it's going to be highly immersive. Moving on to the central hub and outside the lands, the flat ride carousel has now pretty much been enclosed, and the supports for its dome glass roof are being installed. So if you look at the artwork that Universal produced, you'll see the carousel in the middle of the park has got this amazing sort of stained glass roof. So the structures for that are currently going up. At the front of the park, the restaurant by the lagoon has now been completely enclosed, so walls are up and roof is on. The hub roller coaster, Starfall Racers, as we think it's going to be called, has had more track installed. The top hats and the loops look huge already, but there's another massive loop or twist that's got to go in. So there's still a lot of track to go on, but it's going to be a huge roller coaster. Yet another one that I will be holding the bags for. The entrance to the park, the buildings are all now enclosed, the roofs are installed, and there's some new steel that's gone up the side that is going to be a covered walkway as you enter to allow you to stay cool or dry depending on the weather. The hotel at the back of the park looks like it's making a lot slower progress, but that's because it's being built in a very traditional, slow way. Whereas the hotels just outside the park are using prefabbed walls, so they've come up very quickly. As far as the hotel at the back of the park, although it looks like it's making slow progress, the parking garage or the parking garage, if you're American, has gone up behind it, and a non-park entrance is being constructed. So you basically be able to drive in, park your car, and then go through an entrance outside of the park to check in. And then when you want to enter the park, you then go out of the front entrance inside the park, and you are directly in the hub of the park. The people that are building the parking garage are the same company that are building the other two hotels that are just outside the park. One has had its external structures already completed, and they're starting on a pool. And the second hotel, the foundations have just started. Now, they've whipped up hotel number 1 in about 2 months. It's very impressive. If you go back and look at the bio-reconstruct pictures from a couple of months ago of Epic Universe, that hotel was not there, and now it is. So it's super impressive how quickly they managed to get that up. There's also been some more details of the Kirkman Road extension, which is the road that runs down into where Epic Universe is going to be. The roads will have a raised off-ramp. So basically the extension will run from the top where Universal is now all the way down and to the bottom of where Epic Universe is. There'll be a raised off ramp which will allow guests to come off and allow through traffic to carry on, so there won't be any blockages. And they are dedicating a bus lane in the middle of this road just for transport to and from the parks. So there will be a shuttle bus that runs from Universal, the other Universal parks, and the hotels directly on this bus lane, so people won't get stuck in traffic, which is amazing. There is a video which is included in the Alicia, Stella, or Orlando Park stop video. Looks really cool. So there is your Epic Universe updates, and my gosh, there is a lot. Let's move on to Disney, and oh, there has been a lot of news from Disney this month already. So Epcot. At last, the harmonious barges have gone. The hideous eyesore has gone from the lagoon, and you can see across it again. Hallelujah. They're like they were never, ever there, which is beautiful. Fantasmic is still postponed at Disneyland, but the fire is back on the Dragon. As of the 17th of May, the Dragon Parade in the Magic Kingdom now has its fire back, which is great news. Still no news on when Fantasmic's going to be back in Hollywood, unfortunately. Hollywood, in Anaheim. Mustn't keep doing that, calling it Hollywood. No, it's that far on the map, but you know, it's nowhere near each other. Breakfast is back at Akka's house at the Royal Banquet Hall, where you dine with the princesses. Your breakfast is back, and lunch is back as well. It's family style rather than a buffet, but the food still looks amazing. And there is a great review on WDW News today. There is a link in the show notes. They've done a really good video as well. So it's one of my favourites, I must admit. Whenever we've been to Epcot and we've been for a character meal, Akka's house, food has always been absolutely spot on. Don't care if it's princesses, I'm there for the food. In other Epcot news, the construction around the Communicore Plaza is coming along. The hall looks almost complete, other than a bit of a facade, and landscaping has begun around that whole area. And the Journey of Water Moana walkthrough attraction also looks complete. Almost complete even. Bio-Reconstruct again has posted some amazing photos. If you don't follow him on Twitter, why not go follow him? Sign up for Twitter just to follow him. Every day he posts something really cool. Also, the signage for Journey of Water has been installed, and it's due to open in the fall, if you're American. But rumors are that Disney will try and get as much of this area complete before Food and Wine Festival starts at the end of July. So whether they open a section, whether they just open Journey of Water, who knows? But they are literally going flat out on it to see to get it installed. I think it's going to be great that part of Epcot finally has a massive overhaul, because poor old Epcot has been a bit tired for a few years, and it really does deserve some love. And also in Epcot Space, 220 has refreshed its menu, and as well as replacing some of the food items, there is a new cocktail called the Illumination. So go look that up as well. Hollywood Studios, Pixar Place has reopened and is now full of Pixar art and backdrops for photo ops. There is a meet and greet area in the back where Sully, Mr. and Mrs. Incredible and Frozone meet. Plus, the Edna Mode experience is back. So if you're unsure of where that is, it's in the room where Woody and Buzz used to meet at Pixar Place, which is opposite the old entrance for Midway Mania. So since a Toy Story Land opened and Midway Mania's entrance moved around to the other side of the attraction, that whole area was a dead end of nothing. It was used for additional queuing, or it was closed. So it's nice that it's back, because it did used to be a quite vibrant Pixar loving place. So it's great that it's back. And the picnic popcorn bucket is now available. So I think it's released now. Yes, so mid-May, I think it was released. So if you go to Hollywood Studios, to the popcorn stand by, I think it's by Mickey and Minnie's Railway Ride as you enter the park. It's $25.99 and it comes with popcorn, which is slightly different to the offering that you had in Anaheim at Disneyland, where they offered snacks with it, but it's actually got popcorn in it. It does look quite cool. If popcorn buckets are your thing, no doubt you will be grabbing one. So off to the Magic Kingdom. A new magic shot in front of the castle, which removes other guests and makes your photo look like a watercolor painting, is currently available, and it's only for a limited time. Not sure how long the limited time is. It would be great if they kept something similar to this to remove guests from the background of your image, but we'll see. We'll see how they get on. Maybe they're testing it to see how that goes. And Buzz Lightyear is back for his meet and greet by Space Ranger Spin, and he's got a new costume with no wings. So his wings are closed rather than open, because open wings was tricky. Also in Disney, not park-ish, but park kind of related news, the new cast member name tags are now in use at Disney World, and they feature a golden star above the castle, which represents the cast members being the guiding light to guests, which I think is lovely. And the background stars represents the pixie dust that they distribute, which is also lovely. And they have a glossy finish, so they look like they sparkle, which again is amazing. They do look really cool, actually, much better than the plain white background badges that they previously had. And Disney Pride 2023 merch has started to appear in all the parks too, for a limited time again. Not sure how limited that time is. And some of this merch is also available on the Disney Store. So if you want some Disney Pride merch, and you're not going to a park anytime soon, you should be able to grab some on the Disney Store. Disney World have announced some VIP pass holder perks in June 2023. So if you are a Disney World annual pass holder, there is some perks that you're going to get in June. They've hinted at a number of things, including a new Figment magnet for AP holders, but there's a lot of secrecy around that because they haven't actually announced yet. They're trying to make people guess. They've also hinted at a dedicated space to relax, possibly at a water park, increased discounts on merch and dining options, including some of the outdoor kitchens at Flower and Garden Festival at Epcot, and some new pass holder treats, and 2 limited time photo ops as well. So more details will be announced forthwith. And also a new 4-day fork. Try saying that when you've only had one coffee today. A new 4-day 4-park ticket has been released for summer. So it's $99 a day, doesn't include hopping. So it's basically one visit to each park. You don't need reservations. So if you're going, specifically, if you're going to Orlando this summer and you do not want to buy a 14-day ticket, if you're planning to do other things and you only want to spend a limited time at Disney, this ticket may work for you. So they go on sale on May the 23rd and are valid from the 1st of June till the 29th of September. There are a couple of block out sections. The 1st and 4th of July and the 1st and 4th of September is blocked out. And the ticket is good for 7 days after the first use. So even though it's a 4-day ticket, it is valid for 7 days for 4 visits. There's lots of details of it all over Twitter and on the Disney website. So if you want to buy a full park day ticket, I can recommend, if you're going to buy a ticket like that, if you're English or British and you're traveling to Orlando, go to Undercover Tourist. They are amazing for non-long tickets for us Brits. And you don't need a VPN to buy them either. The Disney dining plan is back. So beginning the 31st of May, you can add dining plans to Walt Disney Travel Company packages. So basically, travel packages that you book direct through Disney. I'm sure that Virgin will be offering them too. They always used to do previously. But it must include a Disney resort hotel. It must include a Disney resort hotel stay with arrivals on or after the 9th of January. So although you can book it now, it's for holidays on or after starting the 9th of January next year. There is only one type of dining plan, which is the middle one, which from personal experience is the best one, which enables you to 1 table service meal, 1 quick service meal, and 1 snack or snack credit, which you can use for a snack or non-alcoholic drink. And you get 1 of those per night of your stay for each guest. And you also get a refillable resort mug, which is a godsend. There is lots of details on the Disney World or Disney Travel website if you go and look it up. I've used the dining plan a couple of times. If you're staying on site, it's worth every single penny of it. And if they're giving it away free, which they usually do to Brits, not sure if they will do it, but normally, let's hope when things go back to normal, if you buy a big enough booking, they'll give you free dining. Fingers crossed. Disney also announced on the 18th of May that the Galactic Star Cruiser will be closing. This does not, if anybody has watched various videos that Sam and I have done, we've spoken about this a long time. We really think Disney missed a trick with this. The idea of having a full immersive Star Wars experience, yes, is amazing. But for it to take 2 days out of your precious holiday and for costing that amount of money will only ever work for people that have got more money than sense, basically, unfortunately. So the final voyage is going to be starting on September the 28th, ending on September the 30th. No idea what they are going to do with it. It seems such a shame to waste it. It's a great space Star Wars themed hotel. If they turned it into a hotel with maybe some dining options that were available to everybody to book, would be great. They could have some immersive experiences which could be available for everybody to book. Again, that would be great. But watch this space to see what happens. There's a great post over at the Disney Food blog about this, which we'll obviously include in the show notes. But yeah, it's not a shock. $2,000 for 2 nights stay is an awful lot of money. And although it looked amazing, there's no way it could justify that amount of money for that. Anyway, enough of me ranting about that. So closures, Rock and Roller Coaster is closed until summer 2023. They've not said when it's going to reopen, but it's closed for its annual refurb. The Boneyard Fossil Fun site, Animal Kingdom, is closed until mid-June. Blizzard Beach is still closed. Don't know when it's reopening yet. It's been closed a lot longer than normal. The Voyage of the Little Mermaid show at Disney Hollywood Studios. There's been absolutely diddly as far as this is concerned. No news on it reopening, but there is now rumours circulating that it may be replaced with an Encanto show. So we'll see. And again, at Hollywood Studios, Jedi Training, there's no news if they're going to bring this back, because it stopped at the start of the pandemic, and there is no news. So in non-park related news, the large campus at Lake Nona that Disney Imagineering was going to build is no more. So there were plans to move over 2,000 employees, including Imagineering, to this new campus site. But it was announced on the 18th of May that Disney have cancelled this expansion. Parks and Experiences product manager, chairman, Josh Damaro, I can never get his bloody name right, Josh Damaro, announced that the whole project has been cancelled, and Disney simply cited challenging business conditions for the reason for the cancellation. It may be a coincidence that currently the governor of Florida is on some kind of biblical kind of war path against the House of Mouse, but who knows? What he's doing isn't particularly good for tourism, Floridians, and probably the world in general. I hate to be political. If you want to keep up with what that man, I'm not going to call him what I'd like to call him, is up to, if you go to Twitter and follow Scott Gustin and Alicia Stella, they regularly posts some of the intricacies of the war that he is waging on theme parks, but particularly on Disney. There's a statement from Disney World President Jeff Fahey. How do you say his name? The Disney World President Jeff, let's call him Jeff, over on the Walt Disney World News Today blog. Obviously, I'll put a link in the show notes to that. All right, let's scoot over to Disneyland Paris, which there is a small amount of news, but news nevertheless. So, It's a Small World has reopened after another major overhaul. It feels like It's a Small World has been closed forever, but it is reopened. The videos look amazing. There's been an awful lot of refurbishment that has gone. Cannot wait to ride it. It's one of Sam and mine's favourites. We know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I'm looking forward to going to It's a Small World when we visit DLP in September. The Friente del Oro, which is the Mexican restaurant opposite Big Thunder Mountain, has been undergoing a refurb and is currently due to reopen in June as Casa del Coco. So it's being rethemed to a cocoa theme. So let's hope that the churros are still on the menu as the dessert, because and the burrito, because that was the best bit. But it's quite a good quick service restaurant, and it's due to reopen in June. So let's hope that the food is as amazing as it used to be. In more construction news, the new cast member parking area is coming along, which is behind Disney Studios. And will feature solar panels along the roof as DLP's becoming a more sustainable park. They are putting solar panels up all over the place at Disneyland Paris to generate their own electricity, which is fantastic. Bloody Frozen Land is coming along nicely. There's some great construction pics from Disneyland Paris Works, who are DLP's version of Bio Reconstruct. They follow each other on Twitter, which is really quite cool. There's a link in the show notes to these pictures. They are absolutely steaming along. So I should be glad when it's open, because it means there'll be less bloody Frozen in the two main parks. And the Avengers Power the Night Marvel drone show is returning on September the 1st. So it's having a hiatus throughout the summer. I'm sure there will be other things that are going on at Disney Studios in Paris till September. But I'm very glad it's going to be back when we visit, because I have been desperate to see that drone show, and I thought I was never going to see it ever, and it's going to be on when we visit at the end of September. So I am a happy person. So there's a ton of Disney 100 merch which has dropped on the Disney store, and as you'll see in our little video from where we went to the Wonder of Friendship experience and we nipped into the Disney store, they have an awful lot of it in there too. So anything from Christmas decorations to models to t-shirts to clothing to plushies. There's a ton of Disney 100 merch which is dropping on the Disney store and is available in the parks too. Carrie Fisher posthumously received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and they did it on Star Wars Day, which I think is amazing. It was accepted by her daughter Billie Lourd and one of her closest friends, the amazing Mark Hamill, which was absolutely brilliant. And Billy wore a beautiful dress that had her mother on as Princess Leia. So there's pictures all over the internet. Go look at them. It's fantastic. So in Disney Plus news, announced this week, they have said that they're going to start removing some titles from Disney Plus, including Willow, which they only released last year, which I think is nuts. So I really must watch it because I think things are going to start disappearing from the end of May and then throughout June. So there is a list somewhere on the internet. I'll try and find it and put it in the show notes. But as well as Willow, the documentary around legendary composer Howard Ashman is also being removed. I didn't think they'd ever get rid of that, to be honest. The Imagineering documentary is safe, we hear. But there is a number of titles that are going, including some movies. So Turner and Hooch, for instance, is one of the ones that's disappearing off there. So if you've got some favourites that you like on Disney Plus, go check them out because they might disappear. A new special of Disney Gallery, The Making of the Mandalorian Season 3, is coming on the 28th of June. I've been waiting for this for ages because normally they usually drop the making of documentary the week after the series ends. So previously, the other two series of The Mandalorian, the following week, the Disney Gallery Making of the Mandalorian dropped. And I was like, are they going to make one? But yeah, apparently it's coming on the 28th of June. So they've stretched it out a bit. Don't know why. Avatar: The Way of the Water, the new Avatar movie is streaming from June the 7th. That's also on my list. And yesterday I binged the entire series of Muppets Mayhem. So it's a TV series. There is 10 episodes, all about the Muppets Mayhem band and them recording an album. It's absolutely hilarious. I recommend if you're a fan of the Muppets, if you haven't seen it, go watch it now. But be warned, it's very binge worthy. I was just going to watch 2 episodes. Before I knew it, I'd watched all 10. And The Little Mermaid has its world premiere, and it's going to be released at the end of May. So there's been stuff about The Little Mermaid all over the place. Kind of excited to see this. I'm not a massive fan of the Disney live action movies, but this one looks really cool. So that's it for news, which has been, by the time I edit this, maybe 25, 30 minutes with a bit of luck, which is not bad considering. I might have rattled through it quite quickly, but my God, there was so much. And before you go, Alicia, Stella and the lovely people at Orlando Park Stop are raising money for the Trevor Project. The Trevor Project is the world's largest LGBTQ youth suicide prevention organisation and crisis centre. They work all over the world and they work here in the UK too. They've done some absolutely fantastic work. They don't get anywhere near enough publicity and recognition as they need. If you would like to donate, if you head over to orlandoparkstop.com/charity, there is a donation button there. And if you go to, I think it's thetrevorproject.org, there's lots of information about what they do. I will include both of those links in the show notes for you. And well, that's it for news. There's been so much. I'm sure there'll be more. News, and I will have to do another news update or merge it into June. But after the sparse couple of months, we seem to have had a massive news drop all in one go. So thanks so much for watching the news update, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.